Hello and welcome to another edition of A Better Life. I'm your host, Dr. Lucas Fry, and what a great Memorial Weekend we have planned for everyone. I tell you what, has your family got plans? I mean, it's just going to be a fantastic time. There's so much going on in the world as far as Memorial Day, and a lot of people are saying, hey, do you know all the stuff about Memorial Day that is really important? And it's just amazing some of the facts that I've uncovered about Memorial Day. So I'm going to kick some of these toward you just to see if some of you people out there actually know Memorial Day by the numbers, okay? So let's see if any of this makes sense to you people. Did you know there's 45 million veterans that have served in the country in wartime? There's 1.35 million members of the armed services have lost their lives in conflict. So you got to remember why we do Memorial Day. And again, as it says on the screen, this is Memorial Day by the numbers, okay? So 260,000 graves are at Arlington National Cemetery. Did you know that? That's pretty wild. 102 members of our 115th Congress have actually served in the U.S. military. That's pretty cool. 3 p.m. on Memorial Day is the national day and time that everyone is supposed to have a moment of silence and remember everybody that was lost in our wars. Over almost 1 million. They expect at least 900,000 motorcycles will be at the rally in Washington, D.C. on Memorial Day. They call that Rolling Thunder. The first state to actually recognize Memorial Day was New York in 1873, although 25 cities have laid claim to being the birthplace of Memorial Day. Some cool numbers that you might want to know: there'll be 818 hot dogs consumed every second during Memorial Day. That's a total of 7 billion. Let's see here. Barbecue, we're going to have 60% of all Americans plan to do barbecue on Memorial Day weekend. 60%. That's a lot of charcoal. Also, let's see, I'm going to skip the beer sales. Meat, $1.5 billion in meat will be sold for the Memorial Day. There's 180 races across the country for people that are into that. And of course there is the big parade, and they said here that 1,000 active duty service members will participate in the parade. 30 high school marching bands will be in the national parade, and 1.5 million people are expected to watch the actual parade. And 90% of all businesses close on Memorial Day to memorialize the people who served and lost their lives because our country is free. So that's some pretty good numbers that everybody should pay attention to. So later on, not right now, we're going to be giving away a nice gift certificate to Icky Bonds. I'll tell you how you're going to win that a little bit later. But right now, let's introduce our first guest. He's an entrepreneur that is also does some other cool things, and probably the highlight of his career is going to be evangelist, but he's got some other things that are pretty interesting too. So please welcome to the show, Mr. Larry Jackson. Larry, how you doing?
Hey, nice to meet you.
Pleasure's all mine.
Yes,
so I know that you are really into this entrepreneur thing. So let's talk about it first. Okay, exactly what all do you do as far as helping people become entrepreneurs?
Well, from an entrepreneur standpoint, the first business I have, which is called the Come Up, and what the Come Up is basically we have where I get on and we do webinars once a month. And we get other inspiring entrepreneurs or people who want to be an entrepreneur, and we motivate them and we push them to help them achieve their goals and dreams. We give them a customized goal-setting planner. We give them a customized calendar. They get a monthly blog once a month, and then they get to be in a private Facebook group with other entrepreneurs, so they can see and maybe possibly get motivated by things that other people are doing within the community.
Being an entrepreneur is a lonely thing. I mean, a lot of people they think they know how to do everything, but there's so much involved in startup of a business, publicizing a business, keeping your books, hiring maybe someone, but starting off. That's great that you got a good support group for that. I mean, that sounds very, very, very interesting. You the entrepreneurs, do the mentorship, does that play a big role?
Yeah, mentorship is highly important. I had 2 mentors growing up, and still do today, the same mentors. I believe everybody has to have a mentor in something in life, you know. For me, the way I kind of look at mentors is basically you may have the resources, but a lot of times, depending on the business that you're in, you may not necessarily know how to multiply that business or expand that business.
Right.
So I look at it from the standpoint of, you know, you look at the young boy who had the 2 fish and the 5 loaves of bread, you know. See, he had the resources, but Jesus had the gift.
There you go.
So what he had to do was he had to give that resource to somebody who can multiply it. And a lot of people ate because of that. So if you have the right resources and you get with the right mentor and the person that can look into your business or look into you as an individual, they can really show you how to multiply your efforts and what you have from a business
That's a good
perspective.
analogy. But how do you recommend people actually find a mentor?
Well, the thing I would do is pretty much like what I did is you look for somebody you can be relatable with and somebody you don't mind taking constructive criticism from, because a lot of times a mentor is not going to tell you what you want to do to be successful, but they're going to tell you what you need to do to become successful. So finding the right mentor is key. I mean, you can either there's countless of mentors in church if you're involved in stuff like that, and there's people in your community. Really depends on the business you're in. If it's from an entrepreneurial standpoint,
Right.
If you're like me, if you're cleaning windows, find somebody who's been doing it longer than you. So, you know,
Cleaning windows. How long have you been doing that?
I've been cleaning windows for 5 years. I got 7 years experience.
Wow.
Yep.
And you do skyscrapers? You do what size buildings do you do?
Well, I do everything up to 3 stories.
That's tall enough.
It is tall enough for me. I'm already tall, but that's definitely tall enough for me. But I do everything up to 3 stories. We do residentials. We do commercial businesses. From a residential standpoint, most customers get their businesses cleaned every 6 months to once a year. We do gas lamps, window screens, window tracks. We do ceiling fans, chandeliers, just really whatever it is that customer desires to get clean from a window standpoint, even shower doors and mirrors.
We only got a few seconds left, but I want to talk about your most important thing. You're an evangelist.
Yes, sir, I am.
Tell us what all you do there.
Well, through Larry Jackson Ministries, through my pastor, Bishop Benjamin Harrison Jr., he gives us the freedom to go out and evangelize through his ministry. And we get called to preach youth conferences, family and friends days. We get called also to do even 3- and 4-day conferences. Me and my wife, my lovely wife, Christy Jackson, she sings. And we just got some things that we're going to do here in the near future. Actually, on September 29th, we have a conference that we're holding.
And where is that going to be?
As of right now, we have it tentatively planned at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
What's your website address real quick?
My website is LarryJacksonSpeaks.com, and they can stay in contact with everything that we're doing in the community.
So that's his email, but you can also see it at LarryJacksonSpeaks.com.
Yeah, it's my website. Yeah.
Very nice meeting you, young man.
Thank you so much.
I wish you all the best in the world, no doubt. All right, when we come back, we're going to be giving you some information about how you're going to win a $50 gift certificate from Ickey Bonds, and we have some other fantastic guests to introduce you to. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.